My name is Kenneth Dorsey. I'm from Seattle. I grew up there, in and out of foster homes, group homes, things like that. Coming up, I was hanging out with a lot of the so-called homies, bad influences. I was one too. And this bad behavior, I ended up being a 30-year drug addict. So I was in and out of prison, and then I finally ended up with the Habitual Criminal Act. I had 7 felonies, ended up with a couple life sentences. And so that was a really turning point for me, and a wake up for me. Went on to prison to serve my time. And one day on July 7th, a Saturday, 07, a guard had a violent seizure and fell and hit his head on the concrete. And out of all those inmates, me and this guy, Commando, we were there to help him. And so the rest, the officer lived, and, subsequently I was released as a result of that. And so I ended up going to Hope for Prisoners. My whole goal was to get a job, but John Ponder was talking to me in his office, and he was like, man, you need to go through this program. It'll change your life. It'll do, wonders for you if you go through this program. And I said, yeah, but, I need a job. I don't know. I said, I don't, he said, well, look, you need these tools. What good is it for you to get a job and you don't have the tools to keep the job? He said, go through this program. I tell you, it's going to change your life. And I did that, and it changed my life and more. It did more than he said it was going to do. I came with a real negative mindset. And so when I went through the program, that all changed, that I do have hope. And I do, if I just change my mindset, be more positive, and lo and behold, those things that I learned, those tools that I got, especially about my attitude, keeping a positive attitude, those things have helped me get a job, sustain a job, get married, sustain my marriage, be a good husband, be a good man, be a good father, and be a good community leader. So now I'm retired, do music, I help in the community, help youth, families, and community, feed the homeless and clothe them and give them words of encouragement once a month. I'm very thankful and grateful for Hope for Prisoners, going through that program and what it did for me to help me change my life. And, I'd recommend it to anybody coming out. There is hope for anybody. It helped me. I know it can help, countless others. So, Hope for Prisoners is a great program, for anybody coming out that really, really wants to change their life and do better. So, I highly recommend that.